in huge proportion in comparison to the previous years. When it comes to the other form, like the migrant crisis we are facing, the migrants going back to their places, their wages not being paid, many tenants having problem with the landlords, they were not able to have their house, like keep their houses or keep the shelter over their head. The big problems we were facing is in the times of COVID-19, like there were excruciating problems in front of us when the COVID-19 came in front. So so I will point towards this one quotation from Justice Ramanna from the Supreme Court, who is also the executive chairman of the National Legal Service Authority. He said that the coronavirus pandemic has brought many new problems and challenges before the justice delivery system in the country, and the role of legal aid institution has become all more important during such times. He pointed towards the role of the legal aid institution because he knew that the many who are suffering during this pandemic are poor and destitute. They don't have enough resources to keep their belly filled. They don't have enough resources to keep a shelter over their head, and they don't have enough resources to keep a job. So who will stand for them? Who will who will fight for their justice needs? If today a prominent journalist or a prominent, I would say, prominent political leader is having a problem, he's facing a court problems, he can hire an army of lawyers from and legal mercenaries from everywhere, so that his case get dispensed off from the court. But when it comes to poor, they don't have the similar sort of resources. And throughout the time, the legal though we have a legal service authority and though we have a national legal service authority as well, there are small problems regarding the efficiency of the legal service authority, and also about the efficiency of the whole system in general, which has raised doubts about the legal service institution. And with my points, I'm not putting a finger over the legal service institution as per se, but I'm just pointing about the problems that the legal service authority in itself faces while dealing with the institution. The first bigger problem that the legal service authority has always faced is regarding the funding. How the finances of the legal service authority are dependent upon the high courts and supreme courts, and this funding problem has resulted into a very small remuneration amount for the lawyers who come for representing the poor and destitute in the court. The poor and destitute, as we all know, they are free. They are not supposed to pay anything for the legal aid. So this problem what we are facing right now, but the lawyers have to be paid back in some certain way. They cannot work without any, I would say, motivation. So, but the amount of money that is given to those lawyers is meager, I would say very small in comparison to what they earn from a normal client. So in that way, the motivation is less, and the whole that regard, the whole legal service institution faces a backdrop because of it. Also, in terms of the legal service authority, we are seeing that that the National Legal Service Authority has a provision to have a senior lawyer from High Court and Supreme Court to be part of the legal service institution, and he has to provide a certain minimum number of pro bono litigancies to the poor and destitute. But there is no check on this particular provision. Nobody is checking that how many, if any senior advocate is making those pro bono appearances or not. He might send his junior or seniors, and there is no check in that regard. Nobody is going to check whether that particular person is getting that particular thing or not. And if we rely on this current legal system to work in the same way that we are seeing it working since the independence, or how it is working, then I see a very big problem. I see the problem in the way that the justice becomes expensive. That for some people, the justice is easy to be bought off. People who can hire lawyers and legal mercenaries, they can get the justice easily. Their plaints will get registered easily and everything. But when it comes to the when it comes to the poor and destitute, they don't have the similar, they don't have the similar freedom to buy the justice in that way. I'm using the term buy the justice. It might sound a little bit off, but it is true. When it comes to a rich person, he can hire a good lawyer and he can get his case represented in a very good way. But when it comes to the poor and destitute, they don't have the same resources. I would like to point towards um the point that was said by Justice Syed Mahmood in his dissenting opinion. And he said that the hearing in the word, that is what we say, everybody has a right to be heard. He said that hearing is just not the basic requirements of hearing are fulfilled. That just give him a basic small time lawyer and he can just present his case. He wanted hearing to be an authentic hearing. He wanted a representation that is given to poor should be equally good as compared to anybody who is rich, who is at a position, who can earn a big, who can put up a big lawyer in that place. So the point that Justice Syed Mahmood was trying to make was that hearing should not be just for the namesake. Hearing should be deep. It should be related to the. It should be representative. It should not be just something that is given for the name. It should be given in the form that it is substantial. So that is what everybody should think about when it comes to provision of hearing. And when it comes to the provision of legal aid, also I want to put forward that during this time, this COVID times, we saw the problems in regard to the migrants who are coming back to the place, who were coming back to their home. And many of the migrants were detained by police at different stops. Many of the migrants were leaving their jobs and they weren't paid their salaries in full. They were not having their any sort of employment back at home, and they had no legal representation as well, which is the worst thing. The legal representation, which is the most important ingredient for the justice delivery system to function efficiently, the problem that the migrants or the poor were facing during this pandemic was that there was no option for them to go to any legal institution for the help. And also, though Justice Ramanna, while inaugurating this particular, while making this speech during the inauguration of Conference Hall of Bihar Legal Aid Service Authority, the point that he made was that there are e-courts, e-lok adalats available, or online dispute resolution mechanism being made available for the poor and destitute. The many other states are still lagging in this. Many other states are still not having the provisions of e-lok adalat. Many other districts and states are struggling with the online dispute resolution mechanism. Even many lawyers are not been integrated, have not been integrated in this whole mechanism so that they can be participative to provide the effective remedies to the people. And when it comes to ODR, online dispute resolution mechanism, which is just an extension of ADR, we must also see the depth of how much this online dispute resolution has reached to the people. Like if we see our own country, we have around 70% of internet penetration. When there is 30% of the people are still not able to have the access of basic decent internet, how can we expect that they'll be able to participate into the online dispute resolution mechanism? And especially those who are poor and those who are needy, who have who require almost, who are dependent upon state resources for their food, for their survival, how can you expect them to be part of the online dispute resolution mechanism? This is also a question that judiciary needs to rethink upon. Though we are providing the platforms, we are providing the mechanism, but the judiciary should keep into their mind that we also need we also need something to increase the reach towards the people. Without the increasing the reach, these measures might sound only good upon paper and not good upon the not good in practice. This is one important thing that I wanted to point out. Also, this pandemic that has come forward, and this pandemic which has resulted in so many so many problems, disruptions, I would say, the things will not be the same. The things might not return back to the normal. So, when the things will not be returning back to the normal, what do we need to think about? We need to think about modifying and changing our justice delivery system in that way, in a way that the poorest of the poor and the most destitute who is sitting behind should also get an opportunity to put his problems in front of us, should also have the opportunity to put his grievances, should also have the proper opportunity to put forward his views, whatever he's feeling, what he should get a chance to put forward his representation in the court. Also, if we are seeing ADR and Lok Adalat to be increasing, the number of domestic violence cases that have increased during the time of the COVID-19 pandemic, the domestic violence cases should be dealt seriously. As we know that if you want to see the state of a country, you should see the state of the woman in that country, as B.R. Ambedkar has once told us. We need to look into this problem seriously. The problems like domestic violence, these are the problems that amalgamate, or that shows the society, that shows the state of the society, where we lie, what we are supposed to do. And when the state of society is in such a perils, we need to redefine our judicial mechanism. We need to change the judicial delivery justice delivery system, so that the resultant thing is like, so that the so at the end we see that the poor, the destitute, and the people who lack representation, who don't have enough resources to garner a representation for themselves, can be can are able to represent themselves in the court. Okay, so saying this, I'll be closing my remarks, and I would hand over the mic back to Prateek sir. Prateek sir, thank you so much. You can take over. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abhimanyu sir. Thank you for your insights on legal aid and the cause which we are dealing with today, novel justice needs in the times of COVID-19 pandemic. Now, I would request Imran sir, Muhammad Imran Khan sir, to on his camera and mic, and I would like to invite him to express
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible, but आवाज
Because
डिस्टर्बेंस बहुत आ रही है
जी
और डिस्टर्बेंस आ रही बहुत ज़्यादा
हाँ डिस्टर्बेंस थोड़ा शायद कम हो सकता है अगर आप लोग बाकी लोग अपने माइक म्यूट कर लें तो you all know that today is a legal services day. लॉ स्टूडेंट्स तो सभी जानते ही हैं क्योंकि और वैसे भी इसके अलावा भी उत्तराखंड के लिए और भी इम्पोर्टेंट है ये दिन, क्योंकि आज के दिन जो है हमारा स्टेट बना था, तो ये इसकी सिग्निफिकेंस और बढ़ जाती है. Actually, I was listening to Mr. Abhimanyu about the legal services, and he has actually given a backdrop of how the act came into being and all the legislations, 1987 Legal Services Authority Act, and how the legal institution works, what is the scope, like organizing Lok Adalats, legal awareness camps. There are no permanent Lok Adalats also. So, why should we be providing legal services? If you try to answer that question, you have to go back into the history. Because before independence, even before the Britishers came to govern us, we were governed by Mughals, and they were having courts of Qadis, and there the Qadis used to administer justice, but there was no such post of an advocate or a legal expert to assist him in doing justice. This role of lawyers in dispensation of justice came with the arrival of the Britishers. Because first they stopped administering justice through Qadis, they appointed collectors and courts, the successor courts, and they started enrolling pleaders for proceedings relating to courts. So here actually the role of legal services became important, because as Mr. Abhimanyu said that buying justice, because if you are having a good lawyer, then you can hope that your case can be very well argued before the court. To some extent, he is right, because in India we have adversarial system of justice. We don't have inquisitorial, because in adversarial all must be meaning that the judge is like an independent arbiter, he is like a neutral umpire. The prosecution or defense or in the civil, both the parties argue and put forward their evidences, and a judge like a neutral umpire who gives his decision. Whereas in inquisitorial system of justice, the judge plays a more important role, not important, more proactive role you can say. Inquisitorial system of justice is followed in France and other countries, but as we are following the British legacy, as we have been ruled by them, that we are following the adversarial system of justice. So, sometimes the question also arises whether we should switch to inquisitorial system of justice. It is a very long debate and it has been going on for quite some time in the legal arena. But to fill this void, Act has been passed of 1987 Legal Services Authority Act, and we are providing lawyers to the people who are poor and needy, who do not have enough money to pay the fees of the lawyers. We are in fact providing free advocates to people who have an annual income of less than 3 lakhs. Earlier it was 12,000 as per or when the act was passed. But now in the state of Uttarakhand, the ceiling income limit is 3 lakhs. And we are providing free of cost legal services to members of armed forces. The women children, you know that it is from the very beginning. and to transgenders also we are providing. And one more addition in the state of Uttarakhand is that we are providing free of cost legal services to transgenders also, HIV patients. So if they file an application, then we provide not only lawyer, but we also provide the incidental cost of litigation like drafting and printing and all the stationery that is required. So it is just not confined to providing lawyers. Though we can always say that the lawyers who are coming to the District Legal Services Authority for being enrolled as a lawyer, they are not that competent, but that is not true, because we have few very brilliant lawyers on the panel also. And District Legal Service Authority has also power to engage a senior advocate or some other advocate if it feels that the technicality and complex issues in the case requires the person of a more competence. So we don't have any limitation as regard to that. And as far as legal services to the people languishing in jails are concerned, I want to tell you that we keep a monthly tab on the convictions, and after that, if a person is not able to file an appeal, we through District Legal Service Authority get a certified copy from the record room and take an application from the accused, and if need be, we are filing appeals in session courts. And if a accused is convicted by session courts, then we are also filing appeal to Honorable High Court, in fact even to Honorable Supreme Court special leave petitions. So District Legal Service Authority has come a long way, not just of Nainital but all over India, if you see, because we are just not confined to organizing youth adults or organizing legal awareness camps. We have on a panel, we have got 60 paralegal volunteers, trained paralegal volunteers. I will not say that they are as good as lawyers, but they are very close to being lawyers, because many of them, after coming to working with DLSA, they are doing law and they have a very good knowledge of law, and they are imparting legal awareness to people at a grassroots. Apart from that, we have panel lawyers, and we have started legal aid clinics in district. We have 5 legal aid clinics in 5 tehsils. We have 5 legal literacy clubs in college, and in fact we have legal aid clinics also. And we have legal aid clinic in fact in your law college also, which has just recently started working. And in all these aid clinics or literacy clubs or legal aid clinics, we do not provide paralegal volunteers, because we know that law students are capable enough to create awareness about the basic laws to the people staying nearby, or they can also hold camps, so they are better equipped as far as the legal knowledge is concerned. But like in remote areas, we have now also established legal assistance centers where paralegal volunteers are in fact not only providing legal awareness, but in fact they have been given this broadband connection with desktop, so that they can connect these people living in remote areas to District Legal Services Authority, even to High Court Legal Service Committee. Depending upon their needs, they can interact and they can know about their cases also. So we are just working on a paper or something. And I would also like to say that during the pandemic, the teams formed by District Legal Services Authority, mainly of paralegal volunteers and panel lawyers, we have distributed ration to 11,000 people, more than 11,000 people. with the help of the NGOs and administration, and not just distributing rations. Our paralegal volunteers have also made passes for more than 400 people, because in lockdown, as you know, that there were restrictions and there were people were required to have passes. So our paralegal volunteers did this fantastic job, and they have been also appreciated by the Honorable the Acting Chief Justice of Uttarakhand High Court also. Not just food or making passes, they have also made two teams for providing legal aid during the pandemic. One is for providing legal aid to irrespective of any gender or thing. Like, and one was especially for, as Mr. Luman was saying, that there were domestic violence cases. One team was only dedicated for domestic violence cases. So, and in domestic violence cases, I think, I don't know, I'm not remembering the exact figure, but around 40 cases were reported, and we were provided some legal service in 32 cases. Because what happens, sometimes the husband doesn't come on phone, or is not able to, is not contacted by the paralegal volunteer, who purposefully avoids. And around 17 to 18 cases we were successfully able to resolve, because few issues were on very trivial issues. As we know, during the pandemics, people were staying at home and the disputes were arising like never before in the family. Not just domestic violence cases, we have also helped people in tenancy relating disputes also. Because few landlords were insisting on the rent, and government also said that the landlord should not insist on rent, but the ground realities are always different. Few notorious landlords were pressing the tenants, and they contacted us, provided in around 10 cases legal service, and they were not evicted by their tenants. So things have been done, and it's not that we have done and we have completed our job. We have done a little bit of our part, and we hope that in future we can do more. Budget also, we get budget from National Legal Services Authority, and we get budget from state government also. So that budget which we get is spent on providing underwriting to the paralegal volunteers and panel lawyers, retainer lawyers, organizing Lok Adalats, legal awareness camps, and I would also like to bring to your notice that during this pandemic COVID-19, in the compliance of Honorable High Court's order passed in Southern and Dabral petition, public interest litigation, our 32 paralegal volunteers have provided services in quarantine centers from last week of May till 31st of August, and they have done a fantastic job, and they have been able to help people in getting basic needs done in the quarantine center, because sometimes people are complaining about food, sometimes about drinking water. In fact, I have given my personal number to them also, that in case there need be, I will also talk to the administration regarding any issue. And one of our paralegal volunteers were also monitoring the kitchen that was in this Halwani stadium, because from there the parcels were carried to the other quarantine centers. So we have been able to do a bit in this pandemic, and we have also been able to successfully organize 2 Lok Adalats, though there were issues with regard to net connectivity, because in hilly areas the net connectivity is not such. So Honorable Court has relaxed that the people who are not having internet connectivity, then they can avail this facility from our district court itself, because and following the social distancing policy and other basic requirement necessary for COVID. So we have been doing our best principles that are enshrined in the various acts regarding the legal services. Basically, there is a legal service is very important because you have to, law and your case has to be represented properly before a court or any forum. Like we are in fact providing services at free arrest and remand stage also. As you all know that now Section 41 ACRPC notice has to be given to the accused or a person who has been named in the FIR. So we are even providing legal services of panel lawyers to those persons who have been issued notice under Section 41 ACRPC. And not just free arrest, at arrest also we are providing. Our panel lawyers have been assigned police stations and when they get information that such and such person is arrested and he is a needy person, then they go to the police station and they provide legal aid. And after arrest and at remand stage also. At remand stage, we have assigned panel lawyers for all the courts. And no person is unrepresented at the remand stage. Because as law students, we know how important is a person to be represented at a remand stage. Because at remand stage is the first stage when an accused is brought before the magistrate by the police. Because sometimes what happens is that the case, as per the prosecution case also, the offence is not being made out. Then the role of advocate at the remand stage becomes important. So these things we have done, providing legal services at all the stages. The under trials are represented at present also. I think at present in 153 cases we are providing legal aid in court cases. And I also want to share with you that irrespective of the problem people are facing in the district, they are writing to District Legal Services Authority for the redressal of their grievances. This means that the faith in the institution has grown over a period of time, but District Legal Services Authority or State Legal Services Authority alone cannot do this. The purpose of having a seminar or webinar with you is that because you are a budding lawyers, tomorrow you will all pass and you will join bar or you will join judiciary or some law firm or other corporate. But people who will be in litigation, it's my earnest request to them that they should do few cases pro bono. Because at the end of the day, what we need is some mental satisfaction also, because how much money or things we can earn, but at the end of the day, we feel good only after doing some good thing, like helping a poor person or helping a person who is in a dire need. Because lawyers, I should say, are in a very noble profession, and depending upon their situation, they can always help the poor and needy person, even if they are not the poor people have not approached the DLSA also. There also you can directly help them. And apart from that, they hold significance only in this regard only because if you look back, this act took a long time in passing and then in enacting because several committees. In 1952, a committee was formed on the petition of Bombay Legal Aid Society. Then in 1970 something, one committee was formed under the chairmanship of Justice Krishna Iyer, then in the 1980 Justice Bhagwati. So it took a long time. It took a long time because this matter is pertaining to poor people. That's why nobody was there to push their matter. So it took a long time. In 1987 we have been able to pass this act. So after independence also it took 40 years. 40 years is a long time to address the grievances of the poor and needy people who need legal aid. But it's not like that. The people were unrepresented. There were good many lawyers who have provided free legal aid to the poor and needy people. So I wish that the coming generation of lawyers should be sensitive, provide free legal aid, and to, in fact, even if you are a very good and good competent lawyer, then also you should try to work for District Legal Services Authority or High Court Legal Services Committee so that your acumen and your competency can also be available to the poor and needy people. Because otherwise, the good and very competent lawyers, they charge very hefty fees, but few lawyers, they are also taking up pro bono cases. So I expect the same from you. Apart from that, today is also a state foundation day. I wish you all a very happy foundation day. And I think as far as legal services talk is concerned, I have completed my submissions, and if you people have any question to ask or any other query which is in your mind regarding District Legal Service Authority or any institution which you are,
Thank you.
I am comfortable.
Hello. Hello.
And this is like this.
I have a question for. Hello.
I'm saying was I audible during my
You are out.
was I audible?
Hello.
Yes,
Hello,
yes,
sir.
yes.
Hello, sir. You're audible to us. We asked for the student, like we asked the students to submit their question to us through the chat session. I hope you are able to see the chat. If you are not, sir, we are seeing many questions in the chat. So one of the questions, like Prateek sir will be putting forward first question to you, and then I'll also ask question. I also have received some questions, so I'll also put forward in due time. So Prateek sir, your first question to Imran sir, if you want some clarification.
Sir, one of the students wants to know that how to avail legal aid. Means he wants to know the procedure for a common person who is eligible for availing legal aid. That whom should he approach? Can he approach the DLSA directly? Is there any office or means like some place he wants to know?
There is no issue. You can simply, whoever wish to avail legal aid, you can simply write an application providing the details and one identity card.
The other question is,
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Yes, sir, you are audible.
My answer is write a simple application with all the details of your case if in case your case is pending, and if the case is not pending, then you can say that you can want to file a fresh case.
Okay.
Your I card should be there. And our office is in district civil court campus. And if person wants to file a case in Bhagwani or Ramnagar, then also he can write to DLSA Nainital. But in Bhagwani or Ramnagar, we have offices of Tehsil Legal Services also. If you want, then you can file the application there also.
Got it, sir. Got it. Thank you so much, sir. We are like we also want to tell the students whoever had this question that we have a legal aid camp running in our own college also. So there is an opportunity for anybody who wants to file a case or who wants legal help in that way can approach our own college's legal aid club, and we can coordinate with the district legal service authority to get you to the legal help that you need. Like legal aid is in
And that can
consultation with the district legal service authority and the secretary sir himself, Imran Khan sir himself. So one can directly go to the legal aid club as well. They are having any problem regarding the district legal service authority, they can come directly to the college as well. And we, through our legal aid representatives and volunteers, we will be helping you to get the legal help through district legal service authority. Sir,
that is also fine.
yes,
Good,
there
perfect,
is
perfect.
another question that one student is putting forward. He's asking that when it comes to legal aid service provider, that one cannot expect that the lawyer he is getting is also a very good lawyer. Like matlab there, like he's saying that the lawyer might be less motivated because he's not getting good amount of fees. So the point is that can there be any recommendations or changes that can be brought into the act or law, which can include also very like prominent and efficient lawyers into the whole mechanism?
This is a very good question, Ishad. When I joined as a secretary DLSA, I also saw that fee structure so, uh, seems to be the panel lawyers. So the first thing I did to the success that the fees of the law should be announced. And this is still pending, and I'm quite hopeful that by next financial year, by March, April, this issue will be resolved. And apart from that, I also spoke about one thing that District Legal Services Authority has a power to take the services of some senior advocate or whomever DLSA wants to engage, depending upon the technicality or complexity of a case. So we can take the services of other lawyers as well on case basis also.
Okay.
So there is no limitation. From that, I also want to share with you that the methods are important. In fact, the NMIS of headquarter Nainital, they also come to me directly to discuss for filing appeal in session. They also discuss things with me, and they also discuss and jointly also draft the application. So that is not an issue. It all depends on person to person. So I think we have not been facing such problems because most of the cases are like not all the cases are of 302 or 376. There are 13 cases also like 323, 504, 565. Most of the cases are of these sections only. So in case if a person requires a competent or a senior lawyer, then also we can proceed.
Thank you, sir. Pratik sir has another question to put forward. Like he has received some question from
Sir,
the
there's
student.
thank you so much. Another question that he access module of the DLS and can he attend the hearing in the judges of DLSA? If you want to
Sorry, I didn't.
can he?
Hello, Imran sir, can you hear us? Hello, Imran sir, we cannot hear your voice. I think so there is some internet issue. Imran sir, were you able to get the question? Were you able to get the question, sir?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. Quite better.
Can you question?
Sir, Prateek, sir, repeat the question.
The question is, can a student approach TLSA for training purpose program? And can
For
training purpose go through
training legal service authority.
the district legal service authority? Can he attend, do a internship?
You will be doing training with us only, but you have to get approval from the state legal service authority. If you want, you can send your application directly to DLS and we will forward your application to SLS. No issues, you can.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, Imran sir, for being with us on this particular auspicious day of National Legal Services Day and sharing your views on this particular topic. It was a very informative session. We might have had some small issues regarding the internet because of internet or something, but it was a very informative session and we were able to learn a lot of things. We are looking forward to organize a legal aid camp as soon as the situation regarding corona is a little bit in hand. We are also planning to start a proper lecture series in regard to legal aid services and legal awareness program, where we'll be discussing topics like fundamental rights and everything, so that normal people are able to have a distinct knowledge of law and they're able to understand what are their rights. And now I would like to invite Mr. Chandrasekhar Joshi sir to come forward and put forward his thanks note to us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Modi sir. Firstly, thanks Honorable Secretary, District Legal Service Authority, Civil Judge Senior Division, Imran Khan Sahab, to give me an opportunity, my institution to conduct a webinar on this current topic. और इन फ्यूचर में हम चाहेंगे कि इस तरीके के और सेमिनार थ्रू डिस्ट्रिक्ट लीगल सर्विस अथॉरिटी जो है उनको ऑर्गेनाइज करें और कंडक्ट करें। तो यहाँ पर सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स करने वाले विद्यार्थियों को धन्यवाद। थैंक यू प्रतीक सर एंड गांधी सर।
Thank you so much, CA sir. Thank you so much, Imran sir. We'll be closing this webinar now. We are very thankful to Imran Khan sir for giving us this opportunity and participate with us into this associated program. Sir, we are looking forward to organize more programs with you. We are looking forward to welcome you in our college as well in regard to the legal aid camp that we'll be organizing soon, as soon as the exams are over and as soon as the corona situation is a little bit in hand. Thank you so much, Prateek sir, for being with us and moderating the session in such a good way. Thank you so much, CS sir, for finally giving us opportunity to put forward this view. I am seeing one of the students being Manjuji is raising her hand. Manjuji, give us some time. We'll give leave to Imran Khan sir. Imran sir, you can leave. We'll try to handle the doubts. If she's having any problem, we'll try to handle that.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
So you can leave the session if you want. Inderji, do you have any specific question to put forward to anybody? Then you can put forward.
Yeah, very good, sir. Thank you. Thanks for the entire people and especially to Imran sir, to the chairman, and as well as to both of you, sir, and as well as to the people who are listening. My simple question is, sir, there is a particular kiosk like DSLAs and its role, especially in a pandemic way, is very critical. And it is very ununderstandable that what Imran sir has already put it in a very detailed way. We are really thankful for him to highlighting that us about the particular entire gamut of the DSLA, what they are doing in Delhi, doing in Nainital as well as in the other territorial part of Uttarakhand. My submission to you is as a question, sir, right? What creates me and boggling me in day to day, especially intellectual property, should not create a barrier, especially in affordable medical product. What DSLA thinks about this particular part, and what is their view into that? This is my question to Imran sir. Thank you.
Imran sir, kindly unmute yourself first, because we'll not be able to hear you if you are muted.
Last 2 lines which you said.
Sir, can you repeat the last 2 lines that you were putting forward? Last 2 lines of the question.
Very well. Thank you, Imran sir, for listening me. My submission to DSLA, sir, what exactly, because you are officiating that one. So what you as a person, as a representative of DSLA, thinks like especially intellectual property rights should not create a barrier, especially in timely access of affordable medical products. What do you exactly think into that, and what is your opinion? Please let us know, sir.
Intellectual property.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's saying that intellectual property law, like because there might be a couple of there are lawyers who are small time lawyers and there are like large time lawyers. The big time lawyers will not reveal the good law points in a small cases. So like in that way, he's putting just like this is the intellectual property of every lawyer, like his brain, his knowledge. Then why should he be putting his knowledge for free, like for free being available to people? Why How can he be paid like in a way that it is also rewarding for the lawyer who is putting his effort to get a petition or get justice delivered, and how the balance can be made?
I already spoke about that. The fees is not a barrier. If we engage a senior advocate or a more competent advocate or advocate whose competency I should not say, but advocate who's charging a more fee, then we engage a lawyer on a case-to-case basis also. And we, depending upon the facts of the case and the legal issues involved, we have full discretion to engage a lawyer, and then also we paid according to his work or his whatever his charges are. So that will not be an issue. Actually, I am not able to get the question properly, maybe because of network issue or what. But fees and that will never be an issue. We will not engage a lawyer who is charging a huge amount of fee for a panel, but on a case-to-case basis, we can always engage a lawyer, and he will be paid according to his fee.
So in that way, one can realize that the DLSA has full power to hire anybody in accordance to the case and the need of the case and need of the circumstances. It's a very good option that DLSA has, and that is like thankful. Like this is one of the improved feature of District Legal Service Authority.
Officer of a significant order. So, if there is any legal issues involved, then secretary is also there to aid, like we can also guide the panel lawyers how to cast the petition, what the points are to be raised in a petition or in a appeal. In fact, the chairman of a district legal services authority is a district judge. He is also a very senior officer. Then we normally, when such cases arise, we have a discussion. So, Honorable District Judge also guides us and the other panel lawyers also. So that is never an issue. though we cannot engage the lawyers who are having, who charge very high fees for all the cases, we can't have them on panel, but for individual cases we can have them.
Sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sparing your time, sir. We'll be closing the session now. We are we are thankful to everybody and every participant to be here with us. On behalf of the Vasudev College of Law, we are thankful to Imran Khan sir for becoming the part of this initiative. We are very thankful to all the participants who have cleared out their time in between their exams to attend this session. We are also thankful to the first year students who were able to attend this session without having that much knowledge of the law as they are only in first year. But in all, I'm very thankful to everyone here to make this particular session a success. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank
Okay,
you,
Thank
sir.
you.
sir.
God
Thank
bless
you
you.
very much. Thank you.
sir.
नहीं नहीं, एडमिन राइट किसी के पास नहीं हो, बेचारे वो बैठे हुए हैं, जो परमिशन मांग रहा है उसे भी हमने अंदर भेजा। हेलो एवरीवन, आप लोग सेशन छोड़ सकते हैं, आप लोग सेशन छोड़ सकते हैं। काइंडली leave the session is over, we'll soon be putting up the video in the session itself, chat session itself, or we'll be putting it on the YouTube, whatever be the comfortable way. But अभी के लिए session over हो चुका है, तो you guys can leave. Thank you so much. या एक एक करके निकालें। क्या कह रहे थे? स्टॉक रिकॉर्डिंग